So there's two important assets in your business. First of all is you. Without you, there's no business. End of story. But your next biggest asset is your list. Now, what I mean by list is the list of customers that you already have and those who in some way, shape or form are following you, either in an email list or on social media, of potential customers. And they are two separate entities and should be treated very, very differently, but they should both be nurtured. But I want to tell you some interesting facts about lists. When most businesses are sold, they are sold, the value of the business is based on the value of the goodwill of the customers and potential customers. Now, I don't know if you remember when Facebook was first floated on the stock exchange. I mean, it was sold for billions and billions of dollars. But what most people don't realise is that the company hadn't actually really made any money, profit money, up until that point. So why was Facebook worth billions and billions of dollars when it floated on the stock exchange? Especially considering it really was barely a profitable business at that time. Well, the short answer is the customer list. At the time, Facebook had the biggest active consumer database on the planet, with something approaching 900 million registered users. Now that's something like an eighth or a ninth of the world's population. That's just staggering. So for a company that wasn't making any money particularly, I think it made something like $40,000 in the year leading up to its flotation, it was worth all this money because of the list of customers. Now, as it sits several years later, Facebook is massively profitable. It's one of the most profitable companies on the planet in terms of margins over expenses, you know, what they turn out, what they sell versus how much it costs to run the business. They are immensely profitable because they've leveraged the database of customers, typically through selling advertising. So I want to share with you some key points about looking after your list and leveraging your list to make your business worth more, but also, hopefully, to increase your profits as well. First of all, it's not about the size of your list. Believe it or not, I'd rather have 1,000 decent quality people on my list than 1 million people who, quite frankly, just don't care. It's all about who they are. Now, if you don't understand your audience, then this is where you need to focus. You need to make sure that all the people on your list are in your audience. If you don't, go over to the marketing section and watch the video on audience and working out your audience and reaching your audience, simply because without that, this list could end up being people who, quite frankly, have really no interest. They're just on the list because. So your list size doesn't matter. The quality of your list matters. If all of these people are on your target audience or audiences, you can have more than one, then that's good. It's better to have a decent small list than a massive disaffected list. Now, this list is a handful of things as well. That can be customers, people who've already bought from you. You should definitely be keeping in touch with people who've already bought from you. Definitely, definitely. The easiest way of doing that is through an email list. And to be honest, it's still the cheapest way and most effective way of keeping in touch with a list. Believe it or not, sadly enough, people seem to think that email was going to die and email marketing was going to die because of social media. In my opinion, and my own experience shows this, email marketing is just as effective now as it was 7, 8, 9, 10 years ago. It just has to be done differently. So get all of your customers into a list and keep in touch. Now, I've got a friend and client who is a tax consultant, and when she decided to start keeping in touch with her customers, her clients, on a more regular basis, she started picking up more work. Who'd have thought? She'd send out an email once every 6 weeks, and I said, no, it needs to be every 2 to 3 weeks. Stay in mind, you're more likely to pick up work when people have an issue that you could help with. And funnily enough, it worked. So email marketing still works. Make sure you're keeping in touch with all of your existing customers. Are you inviting all of your existing customers to get involved in your social media? There's a good one of keeping people in touch. Then you've also got lists of potential customers as well. Now, these people could be who've subscribed to your email list, people who you met at events, if that's a big deal to you. It could be people who follow you on social media. In theory, as long as they're all in your audience, they are potential customers. And there is value in that potential customer list. So you need to nurture that list to try and encourage them, obviously, to put their hand in their pockets and spend some money with you. It's not difficult to do, but it does take a bit of thought. Now, the great thing is, if you've got a massive potential customer list, in theory, you should never be short of business, because all you need to do, as I've seen it done time and time again, is either put out an offer or put out an offering that entices this large number of people just to become customers or to inquire about becoming a customer. Yeah, interesting enough, marketing is fairly straightforward. Nurturing a list doesn't have to be complex. It just needs to be A, done, and B, done regularly. It ain't complicated. Don't make it so. But either way, customers on one hand, potential customers on another, you need to nurture these lists. Remember, Facebook was sold for billions, and they really hadn't made a profit until that point because of the goodwill and the potential of that list. Now, at time of recording, nearly the end of 2020, I've recently sold a lot of my website design business to focus on smashing self-employment, and my customer list was worth more than it sold every year simply because of the potential value that the buyer could get out of it. There's plenty of stuff that my customer list could have bought that I wasn't in a position to sell to them, and the right company is in a position to offer these things and extract value. It was sold for more than it's worth, more than it turned over. And this is the key with a lot of businesses that are sold. What it's sold for is often a lot more than it sells in a year, simply because of the goodwill in the customer list. If the customer list is strong, if the customers are close, good, spending, buying customers, and there's more that could be sold to them, your list will be valuable. And if you do have an exit strategy for your business, and you're going to pass it on or sell it on at some point in the future, your list will be the number one most valuable asset when it comes to valuing your business for sale. So I would urge you, the message here today is look after your list. Potential customers on one hand, customers on one hand, people who do business with you, have done business with you, and potential customers on the other hand. They both need nurturing. But I promise you, the long-term value, the long-term success for you is in your lists. But that's it. Thanks very much for watching. Appreciate it, and bye for now.